好，同学，我们准备开始上课了。Alright, guys, we will start our class probably in 2 minutes. So before we start our tutorial for today, we are going to do an introduction about the midterm request. So I will use in Chinese to explain the request to the local student first, then I will use English again. And also, just like the things we did before, if you want to see my screen sharing, please take a look about this Google Meet link, or you can check that on our Facebook teaching group. Okay? Alright, let's get started. 同学啊，我们在今天的课程开始前，我们先跟大家讲一下下礼拜我们期中考的一些规定跟它的做法啊。那一样，就如果你们要看我的荧幕分享的话，就请加入我们的 Google Meet 的连接，它在这边。那我们就直接开始哦。那你们也可以在我们的脸书社群里面找到这一个连接。我们先进入到脸书社群哦，因为我们的大部分的重要的通告都是放在脸书社群里面，所以请大家就务必要确保说你们已经加入我们的脸书社群。这应该已经从开学到现在都是用这个社群在进行沟通哦。好，那首先是第一个哦，就是说因为我们这堂课有失去2周的进度嘛，所以上次的时候我请各位，请你们先观看一下我们的线上课程的部分，线上录影的部分。那至少把我们的坦克车的履带装甲给去做把它给完成嘛。那我们先来讲一下我们的 midterm 哦，这边的话是中文的部分。OK， 首先我们的期中考试的时间会是11月7号，在下礼拜五。那上午9点10分，请大家准时进教室报到。那9点15分，我们就会开始考试哦。那到时候我会把题目的连结，现在你们不管怎么点击它，我都不会开放权限哦。下礼拜的时候，在当天我才会开放权限哦。那请大家就到这堂课，就是405教室这边来到考，大概是这样。那再来呢，就是考试的说明跟缴交的规范，就基本上我们会有2个题型，不会有太多，就只有2个题型。那2个题型会稍微有一点点不同，但都是会是我们课堂中的坦克车，它就是我们课堂中的坦克车哦。只是说有的履带可能会稍微转个方向，那有的就是炮筒，或者说后面加了一个火箭筒之类的，稍微有一点点改变，但基本上大的形态都差不多。那你们要缴交的内容呢，就是一个完整干净的 Rhino 模型档，请帮我把它档案不要太大，就是缩小一点点，然后降存为 Rhino 7。等一下我会跟你们讲怎么降存哦。那再来就是3张萤幕截图，这个的话就是让我方便快速去检验你们有没有上材质，你们有没有就是帮它多增加一点点细节使用的。那这边有一个要点哦，这请你们稍微注意一下，就请大家不管是刚进来的同学，还是已经在现场的同学都注意一下哦。原则上，你们只要大的方向或者是说大的造型跟尺寸是跟参考视图相同，你们大概就可以拿到差不多75分到80分的分数，这是基本分数哦。只要大尺寸跟大概的造型是差不多一样的，这是什么意思呢？意思也就是说，假设我们这辆坦克车啊，它至少最基本款就是有履带嘛，有炮筒嘛，然后有这样子的一个炮身嘛。你至少帮我把大概的造型、大概的形态、大概的比例是做的差不多一样的，那你就可以拿到我们的基本分数。OK， 这是基本分的部分。那接下来如果你要再添加的话，那当然就是细节了。就是如果你们有开始去制造一些客制化的细节哦，可能像是坦克车的车灯，或者说它旁边的这一些不同的刻线，它的这一些铆钉。那甚至说上面的盖孔、炮管的形状等等，你们可以去做客制化的设计，这个我没有问题。那基本上只要你们加越多，或者说你们的细节层次加的越好，那你们的分数就会不断的叠加，大概会是这个样子。所以就基本分就是大概的比例、大概的造型，那你们就可以拿到75到80。那接下来的话就是细节的造型，那就每次会再加5分，再加5分。那材质、颜色等等这些会再加5分，加5分，不断的叠加上去。那最后就是大概大部分就最高的分数就会叠在差不多95左右，通常很难到100，因为100的话，等于就是说，你除了要在我的基础之上，那你还要再把这些东西就再更添加、更进一步，做的是非常的可能照相写真的等级，或者说非常非常细致是工业设计的等级这样子。所以大家不会到这样，大家通常这样会叠加到最高就是95分哦。 所以大概这个就是我们的评分机制。所以请各位一定是会需要练习的，就是毕竟这中间的过程很繁杂啦，就是你们大家还是会需要稍微熟悉一下。但是基本分数其实就是大尺寸跟大的造型至少要一样，大概是差不多的形态。那细节或者其他的这些小的 detail， 你们可以自己去克制或者自己去操作。那颜色跟材质，那它又是另外一个必须加入的地方，它也是会影响到你们最后的分数哦。那再来下课前上传至指定的云端位置，基本上我已经开好了这个云端的位置了。那到时候也一样会开放权限，让你们能够上传。我给大家看一下最后的形态哦。这个就会是我们的期中考试的资料夹。那有 T1 跟 T2 两种题型。那在你们就是开始考试之前，请先点选到这边的这个清单，确认说你们拿到的题型是谁。有的人会是 T1，有的是 T2，两个难度差不多，但是基本上就是会不一样，所以请确保你们有做对哦。那再来我们看一下角胶的位置，角胶位置就是这样，你们每个人会分配到一个资料夹 ，OK， 你们分配到一个资料夹，那就请你们把3张截图、一个模型档案上传到这里，就这样。那记得档案要压缩，不然的话档案超过的话就可能没办法上传哦，这个请注意一下。那到时候再来这边，最后这边请看一下其他提醒。离开教室前，到时候下礼拜我会先来开场，然后再一次说明考试的规则跟规范。那请你们离开前跟课程的助教，就是课程助教会协助整个监考的过程，请你们跟他确认你们有签到，然后并且已经完成缴交，就已经上传完档案了。那这个的话，请务必确定这个请务必确认。那再来的话，就是因为档案上传会花一些时间所以我们的考试截止时间是12点。那但是这个是指说12点的时候，你们就是要完成档案的缴交，完成档案的上传。那如果说你们中间就是可能因为网络速度太慢，或者说你们还来不及存档，你们一直做到12点，那基本上这就会算逾时哦。那逾时的话会有些微的影响分数，所以请你们稍微要抓一下时间点，就是在可能11点50分的时候就要准备存储档案，然后呢把档案上传。那再来的话，记得定时存档。这个的话，这个很多同学就是你们先前的学长姐就常常会这样，因为紧张所以就是一直做，然后做到一段以后都没有存档。那 right now 可能或者你们电脑的记忆体无法负担以后，那就 crash 了，那你们东西就不见了。要找到备份档案又藏得很深，所以几乎都找不回来了。所以请你们务必要记得要定时存档。那再来考试期间你们可以使用自己的笔记，这个没有问题。就是如果你们有就是自己写好的一些 memo 或者说操作的要点，甚至说指令等等，这个你们都可以使用。但是请不要在考试的期间传输档案，或者说与他人交谈，那包含是 Line 也好 ，Messenger 也好，或其他任何的方式，请勿在考试期间复制传输档案给他人交谈哦。所以这个话，请大家注意一下。那 AI 的话，那当然就不用说嘛，这肯定是不能够在这堂课，在这个阶段使用的。这个阶段，其实讲白一点，应该说以这个东西来讲 ，AI 并没有太大的帮助啦，因为它是曲面型的模型，所以大概目前来讲，没有 AI 的没有生成式 AI 能够去制作这个东西OK， 所以大概是这样，再重复一次11月7号礼拜五，我们是期中考试，会是上机考试的形式。那上午9点10分进教室报到，9点15分，当我们解释完毕以后，就可以开始考试。到时候题目会公布在这个社团里面，那再请你们去看一下。那先请你们确认你们拿到的题型是哪一个，然后再开始执行最后缴交的档案就是 Rhino 7的档案，那干净，然后档案要小一点点。3张萤幕截图。那原则上就是大尺寸、大造型与参考视图相同就好了。那其他的话就是一层一层的再叠加上去，分数就会变更高。那缴交就是上传到指定的云端位置那缴交离开教室完以后，离开教室前，请跟课堂助教确认你有缴交完成，并且报到。大概就是这样。那这个规范下礼拜五还会再说一次所以就总共会讲2次。那希望你们能够遵守。OK。那稍微给你们看一下题目的形态因为反正你们现在也还不知道题目会怎么样。那基本上我们的题目都是课程题目啦，都是课程中改一下而已，所以其实不会怎么样。 我先给你们看一下，基本上我们的课程大概就会这样子，你们的题目就是会收到可能大概3张图片，你们会收到3张图片，然后里面呢会有不同的尺寸，然后跟视角，那你们就是依照大方向，先帮我把模型的造型、大的造型给框下来就可以了。那之后你们再慢慢去逐步叠加里面的细节，大概就是这个样子啊。OK， 那这边中文的说明我就到这边为止，接下来我用英文再来说一次哦。Alright guys, so let me do the introduction of the midterm test again for the international and also exchange student. So first things, the date of the midterm will be on next Friday on November 7th. So please come to the classroom at 9:10 a.m. And the exam will start on 9:15 after I finish the introduction of the exam. And location for sure it will be on this classroom, 405 classroom. Make sure you will come here next week. And here, this is the exam link. Basically, I put all the questionnaire, all the tests on my Google Drive. So it will be open and authorized to you guys next Friday. So no matter how you click or how you request for the permission, I won't give you that before next Friday. So make sure you understand that. Second thing, here is the things. First thing, we will have two type of questions. We will have two type of tests. The type 1 and type 2. So before you start to do the test, make sure go to the list to check what kind of question type you receive, what kind of question type you have been assigned. So that's the first thing. The second thing, the things you have to give me will be one complete and clean Rhino model in Rhino 7 format. I will tell you how to save that one in Rhino 7 format later. And second thing, make sure you give me 3 screenshots. Show your progress and show your render, color, and texture. So that's the second thing. And also right here is about the things you have to give me, about the requirement of the model. So first things, for the detail part, you don't have to completely follow the reference image that I give you, which means the question, the test I give you. Just make sure the overall proportion and the large scale can be the same. It will be fine. If you can do that, you will get around 75 to 80 points on your midterm grade. And for the rest of the part, that will be about the detail. You can add more customized detail and also add the texture, add the color, and make sure the entire model looks like a professional model, then you can get a higher grade. So basically, just like think about this. This is the foundation. This is the basic. So if you can fulfill this requirement, you can get 80 to 75. For the rest of the part, for every pieces you add in, then you can probably get around 5 credit bonus. So that's the idea. Usually the highest score will be around 95 points, but it is impossible for the student to get 100 because for the 100 means that probably your skill has to be super clear, super precise, and also the texture has to be super realistic. The detail has to be pretty amazing, pretty nice. So usually the maximum, the highest score I have ever gave will be around 95. All right, and here is about the submission method. Just upload the things I asked like Rhino 7 3D model and also 3 image to this cloud drive. That's right here. Take a look. Basically, I have already opened up all the cloud drive right here. So just follow your student ID and also your name and upload 3 image and 1 Rhino file to here. That's our requirement. If you miss one of them, probably you will get some reduction on your midterm grade. All right, let's keep moving forward. Submission method, just upload your file. So, reminders for you guys, very important. Please remember this part. Before you leave this classroom, probably you have already finished your uploading of your file to the cloud drive and you are ready to leave. Please, before you leave this classroom, make sure check check in and confirm with the class TA. For the next week, I will come here to give you again the introduction of the midterm request. And also, our teaching assistant will come here to do to supervise the whole test. So make sure you guys can follow the rules to finish the test. So anyway, before you leave, please check in and confirm with the course TA. Make sure you have uploaded your file and also you are here in this classroom. And late or incomplete submission for sure will affect your final midterm grade. So what's the meaning of the late submission? It means that our midterm test will be finished, will be closed on 12 o'clock. For sure, after that, you still can submit your work, but basically, I will see that one as the late submission. So probably around that time, the internet will be not that fluent at all. The speed of the internet usually in Taipei Tech will be a little bit slow. So make sure you can finish so you can count the time. Probably you have to save and finish your file on 11:50 and then submit your file around 12 o'clock so that you can submit your work on time. And also, please remember to save the file regularly. Based on my experience, some of you, like this last year, some of the students, probably you are too nervous and they are too stressful. So they just once they receive the question, they just keep working on their modeling, forget to save the file. But once your physical memory cannot take such a long operation times, then your Rhinosis or your laptop may be crashed, and it's very hard for you to find the backup file. So please make sure to save the file regularly. And last thing is no talking and no transmitting file during the test, which means please don't talk on the class during the test, and also don't using any kind of messaging software like messengers or WhatsApp or Line to transmit the file, talk to the others, all right? But it is okay for you guys to using your own notes, no matter it's a physical paper notes or it's an electronic format notes. It is fine to help yourself. But for sure, no AI and no talking and no messenger software. All right, so that's the whole request for the midterm test. And let me show you about the format of the midterm. Basically, here, this is the folder that you will get in the next week. There are two different type of questions, the type 1 and type 2. At the very beginning, please go to here, go to this file to check what kind of question you have received, what kind of question you have been assigned. Then you can go to the folder to check the questions. Basically, you will receive three image, all right? Just like this. I can show you that because after that's just like the practice we have done on our class. So basically you will receive three images. So you can follow these three images to finish your model, all right? So it's pretty much the same thing, just like the things we're working on the class, like the tank, but probably a little bit different on the detail part. So basically, if you can follow the class and also practice by yourself, then you are okay to finish this one. All right, let's go back to here. So I think that's all, nothing special. So far, before we end up this part, so far any questions? 同学对其中的部分有没有什么问题的？其实如果你有的话，可以现在就提出来哦。Is there any question about the midterm? No? Alright, so if you don't have other question, I would assume that all of you have already understand the requirement and also the detail, the rules for the midterm test. 好，同学啊，如果没有其他问题的话，那我就假设说你们已经了解其中的规定了。基本上没有很复杂啦，反正你们的学长姐都能够通过的话，那你们应该也没什么太大的问题。那原则上就是大方向要正确，那细节就是加分题。OK， Alright, so let's get started for a tutorial for today. So in the last week, I hope that you guys have already finished this part. I mean for the tab, the tab of the tank, and also the armor on the top. So this part, basically nothing special. Just follow the things we have done before, like this part. We have already finished the shell, the armor, and then put the wheels on here. Then you can be done. So today it's gonna be a little bit intense. We are going to finish the cannon. Probably I will simplify a little bit about the cannon part, and also we have to finish the body of the tank right here. Okay, so that's the two things we have finished. So let's get started. I will start right here. Wait for a second. Before that, I have to share the screen with you guys. 好，同学，我们先分享一下荧幕画面了。OK， 好，那我接下来就还是会用英文去授课哦，那偶尔在最后面再穿插一点点中文的重要提醒哦。Alright, so in the last time through the online tutorial, I hope all of you have finished the tab part of the tank. So the next thing is we are going to do basically just about the body of the tank. So usually I would suggest you do this. Wait for a second. Right now, probably if you follow the tutorial on the internet, this one, it will be separated model, right? It's gonna be separated model. I will suggest you, before we do the next step, you can, using your mouse to do the frame selection, to group everything, right? To group everything. And press Ctrl and G or go to Edit to do the group. And for sure, again, we are going to make this one become a block. So type in B-L-O-C-K, block. Make this one become another block for inside your model. So we can totally call this one ARM and tab. Okay, so here it is. So the advantage for making this one is that so once we change anything right here, the other side, the left side will be changed as well. So it's gonna be, if you are going to change the detail of your model in the following operation, it will be easier. You don't have to copy and mirror it again. All right, so that's the things. Now let's take a look about the body of the tank. The body of the tank actually is pretty simple. Let's take a look. So as far as you can see, basically this one, although it's not a regular primitive geometry, but you can see that all these things, they are just like, I would say, very sharp and also very, just like regular geometry. So there's no this kind of smooth corner or complicated geometry right here. Basically, right for this one, it's just like regular simple geometry. So actually, we can start with a single cube. All right. So that's using this one, the box. Just randomly draw, and you can assign the size of the body. So probably for me, I will type in 600. Oh, 600 is too much. I type in 400. Okay. And for the width, I will type in probably 200. And for the height, I will set this one as 90. So this is the basic size for the tank. Okay. And for sure, for this one, if you cannot follow the units or the number, the size of the tank, just like mine, it is okay. Just draw a box. Okay, just draw a box. So how can we make this one become something like this? All right. How can we make this one become something like this? So for sure, first way is that we can just hold on your Shift and Control key and do the detail operation. Move the edge of the model. That's the first one. All right, we can do this. So for example, let's drag and make this model looks like that. So this is the first way. We can use this way to do the operation. But for this time, I won't do that. I will use another way to do that. So let's go to the side view right here. So how can we make this one become something like this? So for this time, I would like to using trim this command. So we can using polyline. We can draw some couple polyline. Right, with this one. This one will be the first line. This one will be the second line. For this part, you don't need to assign a specific size or unit for that because after all, it's just about the form of the tank. So you can define by yourself. And right here, I will do the same. Just draw a line. Okay, and for this one as well. Probably for that one, I will use in mirror. So because I want the upside and the bottom side can be the same. All right. So now we have that. We have the. I will move this one down. So now we have already drawn the lines. Basically, the line is just like the guiding line right here. So how can we do the next? How can we using this line and make this box become the form like this? Just using the trim and choosing the line first. Basically, the line right here will be just like the knife for cutting your geometry. Then you can start to cut. Sorry, let's do that again. Sorry, trim is right here. Using trim, choosing the line first, press enter. Then you can start to cut. So let's just cut off the useless part. Now let's go back to the perspective. So you can see that this one becomes empty, but I don't want this one to be empty. So there's a command that we can use. Wait for a second, let me write down the note for you. Okay, so how can we make this one not an empty surface? First thing we can use that simply using loft. Second thing is that we can use in cap. Cap will be fast. So for sorry, not this one, not without E, just cap. So let's choose this one because right now all the open surface, all the open hole, they are planar surface. So you can just simply choose this model and type in cap, C-A-P on your command bar. So once you do that, it will automatically help you to fill the empty area. And if you want to use it manually way, for sure you can do that. You can just use in loft, L-O-F-T, and choosing two different lines and fix that. And this one, you have to align the curve and make sure it was on the right side. So after that, you can Control J, join that. So both of them are fine, but cap for sure will be fast, right? So I will stop right here and give you some time to do the operation. So if you got question, then just come here and I can help you. 今天的进度会比较 intense 一点点哦，请你们试着跟上来。Alright guys, so let's keep moving forward. So now we have the basic shape of the tank body, like this one, just we using the cube to do that. So how about to make this kind of detail? For this part, it looks complicated, but actually pretty simple, right? This part is pretty simple. So just like the armor detail right here, so once you can have the basic shape, to add the detail, you just keep new things on that, then it will be done. So for example, like this model, I want to create this kind of, I would say probably like a base for the cannon. That's the things I want to do. So how can we do that? Actually very simple. Let's just create another cube on the top of the model, probably. I will use this one, click the box, and just draw a box right here. And you can scroll down. And the size of the box doesn't matter. You can adjust that later. So I will just draw a box like this and make sure put this one on the center of the mesh. Move this one up a little bit, probably move this one up around, I would say maybe 5 centimeter, all right? And how about the border? For the border, I hope that there is a gap on the side. So I would click this one And move this one in, maybe 15. This one as well. Move this one, negative 15, etc. So now we have these bases. Okay, we have the base for this one. And how about this? Basically, for me, when I'm working on this kind of stuff, in order to save the time and speed up the whole process, I prefer to using the model that we already have and change that to the detail of the tank. So we already have the wheels, right? I will expose this one. So and extract this one. I want to use this one, the center of the wheel, to do the detail right here. So let's just move this one to this side. Let's using transform, move, and move this one to the knot. Okay. In order to make sure this one can be perfectly fit your model, so you can just using move tool right to this side. All right. So it will be down. And obviously the size is not perfect, so we can drag this one down and move this one up a little bit. So now we have it. And if you think, all right, this one's too small, I want this one get bigger and get bigger, then let's just scale up this one. And just put these guys to the right side. Okay, so that's it. That's all. That's about how to make the detail of the tank. For this part, I also want to have some gauge, so I will move that again. 15, probably. So how can we make this all these things to become one object? If you remember, for this one, I have to make this one become a solid object first. All right, so first things, let's mirror this one because it is gonna be a symmetry model. So how can we make this one become an integrated model as one single model? Just like the things we have done before, let's using Boolean unions right here. Let's select all of them, choosing Boolean union, and then all these things will become one. So you can see that the wireframe, the ISO curve has been changed, all right? And also the detail has been added. So that's it. And for the front part, and for the head, like this one, the headlight of the car, we can use it in the same way to do that. So I will copy another wheel here, explode, because I only need the center part. Rotate this one 90 degree. All right, and make this one longer. Pull this model to here. And again, mirror it. Choosing everything. Boolean unions. All right. So that's it. That's about to make the detail on the car, on the tank body. So I will stop right here. Give you guys around 5 minutes, 10 minutes to finish this operation. And if you got question, you can just come here, and I will try to help you. So for the tank's body, it's pretty much down. But there is some detail we still can keep improving. So for example, like the shallow part right here on the front side, or maybe we can keep adding on some detail on the back side in order to make sure this one looks detailed enough. So how can we make this one? How can we make this part? Actually very simple. Inside random is just when we are working on this kind of form of manipulation, the things we can do, first thing for sure, is to using the selection menu to add the sub-object under the model. That's the first one. So for sure, you can select the curve, vertex, and change the shape right here. So that's the first thing we can do. And second thing for sure, we can using the object, or we can using the model, or using the curve to do the cutting, trimming, split, etc. things. So right now, the things we're going to use, we will be using the box to cut off from the model. So let's just choosing the box right here. Draw a box. Let's assume this one. Okay. Make this one smaller. So let's choose in the model. Hold on your shift key, scale down this one to probably point 0.8 or something, or even smaller. All right. Oh, sorry. Let's do it again. All right. So make this one smaller. Make sure it won't be intersected with our headline. Put this one to here. So basically make sure all these model has been completely intersected with each other. Next things, the things we can do will be this one. That's using Boolean difference. Choosing a model, press enter. Choosing a box, second. So now you can see that it successfully helped us to create a shallow part on the body of the tank. So for sure, you still can do manipulation on this one. So you can do the change right here and also edit a curve by yourself. But you can see that right here, it is a curve. It's a surface. So how can we do that? Very simple, actually. Let's using fillet right here. Let's click fillet, choosing the surface one, choosing the surface two, and you can get that. Let's just enlarge the size. Probably I will make this one become, wait for a second. Let's do that again. Okay, let's do that again. So let's using Boolean difference. Choosing the model first, choosing the box second. So it will help us to cut out front of the model. You can see that right here, there is something weird color show up. Usually these kind of things happen, that's because of the error of the number. We can do that later, but anyway, we can fix that later. Anyway, let's keep moving forward. Let's using fillet, choosing this one. And I want to make this one become something like probably 30. And choosing the first surface one, surface two, and we can get that one. Right? So now we have. So that's it. That's about how to make the detail. So once we finish this part, once we finish the front side detail, then we can start to make the tab combine with our body. Let's move the tab to here. Let's move the tab to here. If you want to make sure these two things can be perfectly assembled, usually I prefer you guys using this command to help you measure the size of the model so that you can have a reference point and using that one to combine with the target model. So let's take a look. So how can we have a reference point and also a reference size of the target model? I will use this one, bounding box. bounding box. This is the command for measure the size of the model. Let's click this one and type in bounding box. Basically, if you type the first three characters, the rest of the part will show up. So let's just click enter and it will help you to create a box outside of your model. So that we can use this one as a reference using move tool. Move this one to the side, using move tool and also select your model as well. Move the model to here. All right, so now they perfectly attach, but I have to insert them a little bit more. Probably to here. For this part, it doesn't have to be very precise. Let's just put them on the side more approximately. And the other side, let's just using mirror. Go to transform, using mirror, and mirror it to the other side. So basically, the body of the tank has pretty much done. Okay, so that's it. Let me repeat the operation. So first thing, using the box to cut out from the model. Let's do it again. Probably we can do the same thing on the back side. Box. Move them to here. Move this one down. Scale down. Alright? And using Boolean difference. Model first, box second. So now we cut out from the model. And then how about to make this one become a surface? Very simple, with using fillet. Choosing the first surface, second surface. If this one is too large, so we have to reduce the number of the radius. Okay, so now we have. So once you finish, don't forget join them. So for the rest of the part, just move them to here, move the tab to here, assemble them together. So that's the whole things about the tank's body and also the tab. I will stop right here and give you some time to do. 同学，我们先继续往前进了哈。我们大概10:30的时候还是会准时让大家休息20分钟，所以我们就先继续哦。我们把剩下的一点点部分给结束掉。那下一堂课我们就会专心在做炮台了哦。Alright guys, so let's keep moving forward. I will let you guys have a rest on Can circuit. So before that, I have some little things to finish. So let's take a look. This is the model that you have right now, alright? So including the armor and also the tab on the side, the body of the tank. So right now the body of the tank doesn't have any color, doesn't have any texture unlocked, okay? So how can we assign color and texture on this model? Okay, how can we do that? Please take a look. Inside Rhino says, the way to assign color and model is to using layer to do that. So if you want to make this one become the green color, you have to put this model to a green layer. That's the idea. Okay? So is there any questions on the back side of the classroom? No? Alright, let's keep moving forward. So anyway, so let's take a look. Let's go to the sidebar right here, the right sidebar right here. Let's choose in layer, create a new layer. Let's call this one probably the armor. And how can we make this layer become the green color? Very simple. There are two options that we can do. So first is here, this cube, this box is the color for the shading mode. So if we change the color right here, so let's change this one to green. I'll do this one as well. Click OK. Just using the color wheel to change the color. Click OK. So this layer will become green color. Another one, this sphere is about the material bow. So let's click this one, enter the layer material. So usually I will use layer material to assign the material for your model. For sure you can use an object as well, but usually I prefer to use layer. Anyway, let's just take a look about my operation. So let's go to here, click this sphere, go to the layer material, and right here you can choose in a different type of texture. For example, I want to use in paint color, coating color. And you can choose in the color right here. So maybe deep darker green, click OK. And the glossiness means the smoothness and the polishing surface, level of the polishing surface. So if you don't want this one to be super bright, then you can reduce this number. Let's click OK. Alright, so now we have. So how can we make this model to be assigned the color? So we can choose in the model first, go to the layer, right click, change object layer. So now you will have that color. And this is just for shading mode, okay? This is just for shading mode. So if you go to the render mode here, so you can see that the color has been changed as well. So if you change this model to another different layer, you can see that the color will be changed as well. So that's how we change the layer, how we change the color. Let's repeat, create a new layer. And change the color on the shading mode, change the color on the material bow. Maybe let's change this one to red so you can see more clear. Click OK. Select the model, right click, change object layer. So now you can get that. Alright, so that's it. So the things I ask you is to give me a model and also three screenshots. So please remember this command. I don't want you guys using the default screenshot. I want you guys using the command inside RhinoSys. So please using the inner command of RhinoSys to do the screenshot. There is a command which named capture to file. So let's assume this is the viewport that you want to capture. This is the view that you want to capture. Let's type in capture to file, view capture to file, this one. So it will show up this window. And you can set up the size of the resolution. So if you're choosing 3 times bigger, it will create 3 times bigger size image than your screen. So usually I will set this one as 2, it will be quite enough. So let's choosing, yes. And it will show up this window and you can save your file. So let's take a look. This is a screenshot you will get. So the resolution will be higher and also very, very fast. So just remember this command, capture to file, using this way to capture the screenshot. Don't use in print screen because the print screen way, the resolution will be super low. And here is about the setting of the texture. Just remember, create new layer, go to the sphere and also the box to change the color and the texture setting. And finally, choosing the model, right click, change object layer, 改变物件图层 so that you can move your model to the target layer and change the color as well. So that's it. That's about the last, the things I have to teach you before we take in the rest. All right, so let's keep moving forward. In the last class, we have already finished the body of the tank. So now the things we're going to do. Wait for a second, let me confirm that I have shared the screen. Okay. So the next things we are going to do will be about the canal. The canal, actually, I think this part will be very, very important in this class. Because if you want to become probably like a product designer, or maybe you want to make a model for the car, for the vehicle, airplane, etc. things, you can follow this idea to do the model. Okay, you can follow this idea to do the model. So anyway, let's get started. Basically, when we are working on this kind of symmetry model, I will suggest you just cut the model into half, all right? So that we only have to do one side. For the other side, they just mirror it, it will be fine. So for the canal part, although you can see that the reference I gave you is not a symmetry one, this part is not a symmetry one, but actually for the large proportion, they are still symmetry models. So for this time, I will just do one side, and for the other side, we can just mirror it. But the hardest part will be here, this smooth transition. That one will be a little bit hard at the very beginning, but please just follow my operation and try to do that, okay? All right, anyway, let's get started. So let's copy this one to the side. So how can we make this one? How can we make this canal model? For that one, again, usually I prefer to start with simple primitive geometry. So for this one, for example, the body of the canal, I will start with rectangle. Okay, let's start with rectangle. For now, I will just do both sides because it will be, at the very beginning, it will be more easy to understand for you guys. So I will just do the same both sides. So let's just choose in rectangle and draw a rectangle, probably 90, or 90 is too small. 120, okay, something like that. So this is the model that I wanna have, okay. So how about the razor side? So basically, you can see that right now I'm working on the top drawing of the tank. So I want to make this one become a smooth corner, and this part can be a sharp corner. So how can we do that? we can use in this one the fillet curve, fillet curve right here. We have similar option both in curve and also surface. For this time, I want to use in fillet surface. Fillet curve. Let's choose in this one. And for the radius, yeah, 30 is fine. Let's just choose in 30. Okay. And for this part, I want this one can be a sharp corner. So let's just simply choosing chamfer, the second one. Please go to here, go to the chamfer curve, click the little triangle, choosing the second one. Okay. This time again, I want to choose in 30 by 30. So now we have the basic one. We have the base drawing, the top drawing of the canal. How about the other side? Let's using a polyline to cut off this one into half. Using this polyline as the middle line, choosing the trim, cut off. And for the other side, right now we don't have to do that. But if you want to see the whole object, then you just have to mirror it to the other side. Probably we can make this one longer so that the proportion will look better. Maybe just like this. So this is the top drawing for the model, all right? So let's give you some time, probably around 5 minutes, 8 minutes to finish the top drawing. Just remember, we are working on the rectangle first. Rectangle and using chamfer for using the fillet curve to make this kind of round corner. Then using chamfer to create this kind of sharp corner. Then just mirror it to another side, you can get the top drawing. Let's give you around 5 minutes to do this operation, then we will keep moving forward. Alright guys, let's keep moving forward. So, in the last operation, we have already finished the top drawing of the tank canal. So it looks like this. For the front part, we have a round corner. On the back side, we have a sharp corner right here. So the next things we are going to do is to using this curve and gradually construct a 3D model canal. So how can we do that? Basically, for this part, we are going to using the idea of sweep. Okay, and this time we will using sweep 2. I would say the most important command inside Rhinoceros will be sweep 1 and sweep 2. Basically, once you know these two commands, for most of the industrial model, you are okay with that. Okay, no matter it's about mouse or it's about laptop or probably it's about a car, vehicle, even airplane. If you know these two and you can master that, I think most of the models you are okay with that. But for sure, that kind of organic model is still hard to do that. But for this one, it is okay for you. All right, let's get started. So basically, idea will be like this. So now we have the, let's see. Now we have the bottom line, right? Here is the bottom curve. We have the bottom curve. So the things we are going to do is to using the section curve. For example, like these two. We are going to using the section curve, follow the bottom curve, the base curve, and create a surface for us. So that's the things we are going to do. So in order to do that, at least we need to have first things, 2 rail curve. So including the bottom one and also right here. Actually, for this time, I want to have 3. Then we can create a section curve to create the model. So the idea will be like this, okay? So here is the base curve. Here is the another 2 rail curve. And this one will be the section line. So once we can ask the Rhinoceros to do this for us. You ask using this section curve and follow the rail curve to work a circle, create a surface. So that's the things we're going to do. So how can we do that? So first thing is I want to copy this one. Here, that's the base curve. Let's just move this one up. Hold on your Alt key and using Gumbo for copy. I want to copy this one probably around 40 centimeter high and scale this one down. Hold on your Shift key and you can scale down this one. Let's type in point A. Make this one point A size bigger. So now we have the second curve. How about the last one? I want to move this one up again, probably around 10 centimeter, and scale down this one again in 0.8 times bigger. So now I have 3 different curves. All right? I have 3 different curves. So let's go to the top view. We have to make sure all of them are aligned in the center. So please turn on project mode. 同学这边请打开投影模式哦，这边你会比较好做。Let's move the curve to the center mirror line. So let's use a mirror, move them to the center, and move them to the center. Okay, so now we have 3 curves. All of them is about our real curve. Let's repeat that again, okay? So basically, first thing, copy this one up. Let's copy this one around 40 and scale down this one, point A. All right? And let's do that again. Copy for 10 centimeter and scale down again, point A. So that's it. Finally, move all these curves to the center. So this time you can turn on the project and move them to the center. Just like this. Okay, just like this. Oh, sorry. All right. So now you can turn off the project. Actually, you still can turn on the project. Up to you. Right now, we still will using the project. All right. I will stop right here. Give you guys around probably 5 minutes to do this operation. 好，同学，我们就继续了啊。Alright, guys, let's keep moving forward. Please go back to your seats and let's get started. So now we have 3 rail curves. Okay, we have 3 rail curves. Actually, we will only using 2 of them. We will only using the bottom line and also the top line. So how can we get the section line? For the section line, very simple. First thing is the first part of the section line. Let's just using polyline right here. Don't forget to turn off the project right now. Okay, so let's choosing this one. Select these 2 points, and it will be done. All right. So this is the first part of the section line. But how can we make this one become a smooth corner, just like the things we have by fill a surface or fill a curve? How can we do that? Well, in order to do that, let's take a look. We have to go to the side view. All right, let's go to the side view. And for this part, I would suggest you guys turn on the project. Turn on the project. And just using the control point curve, this one, the second option here, control point curve, this one, and start to draw. Connect them manually. But for sure, this is not precise at all. But how can we fix that? How can we make this one more precise? Actually, we can try to do this. So first thing is, follow the line right here, draw an extension guiding line. All right? And for this one, let's do the same thing. Let's copy one more. Type in copy one more. So make sure they can fix with each other. So for the rest part, actually, we can using the control point, control vertex, do the operation. Let's just using 3, it will be fine. So make sure the middle control point can perfectly locate it on the intersection point of these 2 extension lines, so that this one will be more precise. Okay, that's the things. So first things, let's repeat that again, okay? So first things, draw a line between these 2 rails. Second things, how can we do the curve between these 2? We can using control point curve to do that. So let's just draw a line right here. But in order to make this one can perfectly fit with the line we already have, we have to do the extension line from this side and also that side. And finally, make sure these two things can make sure the middle control vertex can locate it on the intersection point, so that we can get the things you want to have. Okay, so that's it. That's the thing. That's how we can get. Wait for a second. I have to move this one to here because right now we are now working on the centimeter on the word center. So now that's about the section curve. All right. So let's finish the whole operation. Then I will give you some time to do to practice. So for the bottom side, very simple. Let's just using surface sweep to rail. Wait for a second. I want to delete them now. Let's using sweep to rail. Let's go to surface sweep to rail. Choosing the curve 1, choosing the curve 2, and choosing the section line. So now we have. If you don't like this kind of stuff, you don't like this kind of, let's say the ISO curve, then we can use it another way and make this one more organized. Let's choosing the rail line and explode it. Okay, let's explode it. Then let's do that again. Do the surface section by section. Choosing this, choosing the section rail line, choosing the section line, and for this time do the same things. Okay. Okay, so just like that. And how about the upper part? Since right now we already have the section curve, so it's very simple. Just choosing sweep 2, choosing the curve first. I prefer to do that section by section. It will be more clean and also more organized. Okay, so that's it. So now we will have that. But this part looks pretty weird, but it's okay. I think we still can fix that later. But right now, let's just assume this one is the finished one. Let's give you some time to finish these operations. Alright guys, let's go back to your seats. Let's keep moving forward. So basically just through the sweep tube and also with the section line we have, we can create a surface like this. Don't forget to join them together because before that it's supposed to be separated. So just select all of them, Ctrl and J, join them together. Edit, join. Alright? So you can see that, alright, this part looks okay, but that part doesn't look right. That's because for the radius right here, actually, it doesn't follow the proportion to be scaled down. If you want to make sure everything can be super smooth and continuously linked, then we have to make sure the radius of the corner right here and also here and here supposed to be the same. So I think that will be a little bit tricky things inside Rhinosys. Unlike Blender, for Blender it doesn't have to be that precise at all. For Rhinosys, if you want to let this one can be smooth, it can be mold, it can be fabricated, then this one has to be precise. And also, once you do that, your product and your prototype can look nice. But anyway, right now we are just working on the prototype. We're just working on the practice, so it is okay. All right, anyway, so for the rest part, let's try to make this one become a solid model. So how can we fix the face right here? How can we fix the face right here? Wait for a second, let me hide the rest of part. So if you remember, there's a command can help us to fix, to create planar surface right here. Usually we will use in Cad, just like things we used before. But for this command, it only works for that kind of closure surface. So this time, rather than Cad, we are going to using planar surface. That's something we used before. So let's try to using planar surface. Let's type in planar surface on the command bar. And choosing the curve right here, make sure it can be a loop and be a closure curve. All right. Once you finish, please enter and you will be done. And for this part also, we have to do the same thing. We have to closure the surface right here. So let's do the planar surface again, choosing the curve here, 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 and press enter. All right, so now we have the whole model. Let's choosing all of them and join them together. Okay, join them together. And now you can using cap to close the last part. Sorry, cap. So it becomes a solid model, right? So that's the things we want to have. For the other side, it's just using mirror to do that, so it doesn't matter. But how about this kind of stuff? Very simple. Just like the things we done before, let's use in box for making that. So let's use in box. And just draw the box to here. And you can change the size and the proportion. Just drag the back part to here. All right? So how can we mix them together? Very simple. Just using just using how to say that? Just using Boolean union. So select both of them, Boolean union. Sorry, I think it failed. Let's move this one up a little bit. Let's do that again. Boolean union. I hope this sign can work. Oh, it doesn't work. I don't know why. All right, probably there's some little gap between these two. It is okay. Then let's just change the shape right here. I want to move this part to this side. Sorry for that. I think there is something wrong here. Wait for a second, let me check that. 同学，我这边稍微有一点点误差哦，我重来一次。Alright, let's do it again. Let's using the box. Draw a box right here. Go to the perspective view. Alright. Then let's see whether the Boolean can work or not. We try again. Okay, still doesn't work. I guess there's something wrong here, but it is fine. Let's just extrude this part. Let's extrude. And then for this part, let's just move this one up. Right? So now we have the back side of the model. We have the back side of the model. For sure, for the detail right here, you can just using the technique that we already have before and keep refining that. So for the rest of the part, I think right now we can mirror it. And if you want, you can join them together. For example, like this one, just join them together. Make this one become a solid model. For this part as well, let's join them together. Make this one become a solid and complete model. All right? I will stop right here. Let's give you probably around 5 minutes to do this operation to fill the gap and also merge them together. 同学这边的布林的部分啊，就是我们会等最后再来把它一次清干净。这边就请你们先帮我把它合并成一个完整的物件就好。Guys, before that, I want to boolean the back side and also the front side of the canal. But right here, the process will be a little bit tricky. So rather than doing that, I will choose to create the intake object first. And in the last part, we can do the Boolean difference and the Boolean unions. 'Alright guys, so I'm going to finish the canal and also the whole project, okay? So please go back to your seats, then let's get started. 同学，我就直接在最后这一段把所有东西给做完了哈。那这就是我们考试前的最后一趴，那麻烦你们注意一下。Alright guys, so in the last part we have already finished this tank and also the backside, basically just like a decoration I would say, so nothing special. So how can we merge them together? If you just directly choose both of them and using Boolean union, I don't think the wireframe looks good. It looks a little bit dirty, so I don't like that. Rather than that, I prefer to do this. So first thing, let's using Boolean difference. Choosing the model that I want to cut and choosing the model I use for cut. So basically, it will help us to cut off the rest part, make sure there's no intersection between these two. So now we can merge them together. So let's use in Boolean union, merge them together. So it will look better, I would say, to much more clean than before. So please try to use it this way to do the operations. So for the rest of the part, pretty much the same. Let's just try to extrude or try to do we can do the extrusion like this one. Let's extrude. Wait for a second. Let's choose this one. Extrude for -5. This one as well. -5. And for the middle, actually we don't need that. So if you want, you can just delete that. You can just explode it and delete the middle line. We don't need that, right? So now we have the middle shallow area. Don't forget to join them again. And further detail like this, basically I would just simply use the wheel model to do that. After all, our wheel model is pretty detailed. So let's just, again, using this one, copy one more, explode it. So let's put that one to here, probably, using this one as a gear or some kind of joint for our model. All right, maybe just right here. And you can scale down a little bit, make this one flatten, and mirror this one. All right, and if you want more, then just create one more. And also probably right here, I'd like to create an entrance for this tank. So let's scale down and probably put this one here. It doesn't have to be precise. After all, right now, it just has a decoration. So you can design by yourself. All right, so now we have. Let's join them together. So let's choosing all of them and using Boolean union. So basically, the major part of the tank is pretty much done. For the side right here, you can do that by yourself, okay? So very simple, just create a cube, put them to here, all right? And then do some editing, do some extrusion. So that's it. And mirror it to the other side. Okay, so now we have. How about the canal? For the canal, well, it looks like decline, looks complicated, right? But actually, it's very simple. Let's just using cylinder to do that. So let's go to here, choosing the second option, cylinder. Okay, second option, cylinder. Click this little triangle, go to choosing cylinder. And first thing, let's just drag a long cylinder, maybe like this. This is our canal. Make this one longer. So how can we create this kind of segment? Very simple. Let's copy. Hold on your shift key and also the Alt key for copy. So that we can create one more segment. All right? And if you want to have more detail, then let's just do this. Create one more. Maybe two more. This one can be smaller again. And finally, join all of them together. All right? And for the join right here, just using the same idea, okay? Probably this one, we can also create one more join. This is for the join part. All right, finally, let's using Boolean union to join all of them together. For the join part right here, I mean the intersection, the bridge between the canal and also the canal base. That's using the wheel again, explode it, use this one, rotate 90 degree, 90 degree again, sorry. Let's go to the top view, make sure everything can be aligned. And pull them into the center. Okay, mirror it to the other side and merge them together. Finally, let's just put the model, probably we can make this one longer. It will look nicer. Let's rotate your canal and put this one to the right side. So that's it. Okay. And for sure, we have to make sure the canal is located on the center. So just rotate a little bit. So make sure this one is in the center. Okay. So this is a canal. We have already finished this one. Finally, let's put this model to the right layer and also put this model to the center of your base. If you think this one is too small, then just scale it up this one a little bit. All right, so now we have, this is the model that we have. Let's take a look about the final result. So the things you have to give me is just like the model like this, and also give me some screenshot. So that's the whole thing for the midterm. All right, the model and also the screenshot. And make sure to save your file in a Rhino 7 format. Okay, so this part is very important. Please take a look. How can we save your model in the different format, in the different versions? Please go to here, File, Save As, and here you can choose the different versions, right? Rhino 2, Rhino 3, Rhino 4. So please save the file right here and save. Okay, so that's it. And also, one important thing I want to remind you, please bring your mouse to the class. Please bring your mouse to the test. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure you will fuck up on your exam. Okay? If you're using a touchpad to do the modeling, and also if you're using a touchpad to do the game and programming, I'm not so sure how you can do that. Okay? So please bring a mouse and get used to using a mouse to do this kind of operation. Otherwise, using touchpad is really hard for you to do the modeling operations. All right, so I think that's all. The recording will stop.